Good evening, one and all, to all One India viewers. This is me, Uma Maheshwaran. I invite you all to a special interview with a renowned person from Karnataka, the spokesperson of Indian National Congress, Ms. Bhavya Narasimhamurthy, is with us. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am,
Glad to be
briefly,
here.
before we jump on to the questions, how is Bengaluru doing? We have seen some footages where the rain is blasting away the city like hell. The city in deep turmoil now. The traffic is in congestion, water being clogged everywhere. What's the current state of Bengaluru?
It's literally drowning. Um, some of the places have knee level water, and this is not the first time. This time it is becoming much a bigger issue because this is happening in the places where high end uh, people and the software companies are there, and this Bellanduru Lake is overflowing. Even otherwise, every time it rains, in slums and which is not even covered. When I go on field and I work with people, I have seen like 2 months ago, I had done a video and posted where people are in a lot of distress. Poor people who live in slums, their houses are filled with water every time it's raining. And sadly, the BBMP elections have not happened for the past 2 years. It's due for the past 2.5 years. In 2020, Jan, the elections were due. The BJP is so reluctant to conduct elections because they know they're going to lose the elections, and because of which there are no representatives, local representatives, the corporators, and people are in a lot of distress. They can't take their complaints to anyone now. The wards don't have the councillors. Sadly, yeah. Now, from airport to people are going on tractors and JCBs, and this is the worst I've ever seen as someone born and brought up in Bengaluru. This time it's worse, and I've never seen such a situation my city has gotten into. And it's really painful to see this. People suffering.
Do
Yeah.
you think it's right approach to see this in a political standpoint? Because is it not a purely climatic aspect that's plaguing Bengaluru right now? Is it really correct to correlate BJP with the current fiascos happening in the Bengaluru?
See, if you see, there are two things to this. If the drainage system was proper, the water would not clog for like days together like this, even if it had overflowed. The problem here is, if you've heard of this famous 40% commission sarkar, the government, that Bomai's government, the current BJP government has become, the Contractor Association's president has written to the president and to the prime minister saying Bommai's government, the current BJP government in Karnataka, is demanding 40% as bribe, 40% of their um, of the work order or whatever the sum that is being listed. So how can the contractors work? They won't have any profit margin, and no contractor is gonna invest from his pocket into the his or her pocket into the invest into the infrastructure
So
bill.
you try to say this
That's
is a
what the
man-made disaster. Can I coin that word? Do you cite this as a man-made disaster then?
disaster might be due to climate change, and the rain is like definitely more than the before, but the management, how the government is failing to manage this particular crisis is definitely the failure of the BJP government. If we had good administrators who are actually worried about the people and who are concerned, this should not have been a big issue at all.
Bengaluru
And the
was
main
touted.
problem is the encroachment of land on these drainage, the what we call Rajakaluways and the drainage. This thing, that's one of the main problems, is what we are hearing from the experts and stuff and others. And when the lakes overflow, if the drainage was proper, it would have happened. And the construction, if you have seen, it's not just that. There is one woman who has lost her life because of the water clogging and because of some electric wire
Yeah, that
shock.
23-year-old
A
girl, yes.
Bangalorean has
Sad to hear
lost a
that.
life. That has happened recently in the past, I think today or yesterday. And the saddest part is, in there have been 13 deaths due to potholes in the past few years, past 3 to 4 years, of which 7 deaths have happened only in 2021.
Yeah.
And guess what? At the same time period, Bomai's BJP government has spent 215 crores only to repair the potholes, and still they could not avoid deaths. Human lives have become so, they don't value human life at all.
But all these things couldn't have happened just overnight, right? It has been only 3 years of the BJP rule. Now you can't blame a government that's quite young for all these fiascos that has happened over decades. Am I being right here, or do you want to refute with my claims?
I to say this. I said these 13 deaths have happened in the recent years, recent couple of years.
Yeah,
And they
I
spent
agree that. But do you agree to the fact that
Yes,
it,
yes.
it has
Let me
not been a
make this clear.
continuous BJP
Let me
rule
make
for
this
10
clear.
years or 15 years? It's
Bengaluru,
just been 3 years. And how would
Bengaluru,
it be very correct to narrate all the occurrings now to BJP?
yes, yes. So let me explain this. Bengaluru is a fast growing city, and we need people with a vision who can. We need leaders who are, elected representatives, who are ministers, who are the policy makers, who have a vision for this fast growing city. It's a cosmopolitan, and you need to keep adapting new changes. Otherwise, this is the disaster that's going to be upon us. So if you say this is new, 3 years is a big time. 3 years. And this, the pothole deaths are not happening this year. How long does it take to fix potholes on Bengaluru roads when you're spending so much money?
If this is the case in Bengaluru, what's the game plan of Congress as an opposition party? Congress has been associated with Karnataka for a long time. They rule Karnataka enough. They should be knowing the in and outs of Karnataka. So, what's the game plan of Congress concerning the infrastructure development? And as you say, there has been some problems with the new infrastructure being built, the problems with the real estates, and so. But what's the game plan of Congress actually right now at this very crucial juncture?
So the Congress party has already, we have set up a manifesto committee of which I'm proud to say I'm a member too, for the BBMP elections. This is just not a manifesto for the BBMP elections, but a vision for Bengaluru as such in total. Whether it comes from the drainage or the environment point of view or the people's point of view or the students' point of view, how starting from libraries to drainage, how we are gonna, maintain Bengaluru, and how we are gonna, make sure people in the growth of Bengaluru should not be stopped because of these problems in the infrastructure. That is one of our very main mottos, to make living in Bengaluru both livable and lovable. So we have set up a manifesto committee, and under the chairmanship of Professor Rajiv Gowda, who is the ex Rajya Sabha MP. And here we are doing consultations. We are doing consultations with the people. Say, on one side, the hawkers, on the other side, the gig workers. We are conducting consultation with people themselves. We are going door to door and asking them what exactly is their problem and how we can fix it. And then we are making consultations with the specialists and experts and coming up with this manifesto before the elections of BBMP. And this won't just be the BBMP election manifesto, but the vision we are setting for the future of Bengaluru. We have a long-term vision we are setting through this manifesto.
Uh, right from 2019, the Congress is having quite a lot of problems with the leadership. I guess it's not. I'm trying to say is it's not that there are no leaders, but there has to be someone who will spearhead the attack from the right, from the front. Rahul Gandhi declining the position of the Congress Supremo, and people like Jyotiraditya Scindia quitting, Ghulam Nabi Azad quitting. Is the problem in the center plaguing the Congress in Karnataka as well? Is there a situation right now where you don't find a person who is strong enough to oppose the BJP in Karnataka right now?
So if you see at a national level, the only person who is strongly fighting against BJP without any doubts in their heart, if you check for any other opposition leader, any other opposition party leaders, they're compromising. They're saying, oh, RSS is not a problem. But Rahul Gandhi, from day one and till date. He's the only opposition leader, the tallest leader in India as of now, who is fighting BJP without a doubt in his heart. Coming to Karnataka, we have leaders fighting. Siddaramaiah sir, B.K. Hariprasad sir, D.K. Shivkumar sir. We have a lot of leaders fighting the RSS completely, very strongly. And I don't understand why people keep saying that, the leadership in Congress is not strong. We are, just because Congress lost a couple of elections. BJP is also losing, but please see the percentage of votes we are getting. It's not declining at all. Even if you see Karnataka elections, Karnataka or 2019 parliamentary elections, see the percentage of vote. We're still getting the votes. But every party has a phase it has to go through. We were in power. Now it's time for us to build back together, come back stronger. And this time BJP, and you can see the administration of BJP, it's a total failure. Starting from how they handle Corona, how they handle lockdown, how they handle the vaccine policy,
Don't you think? Don't you think they handled it better in Karnataka? Don't you think they handled it better in Karnataka?
Communal riots. Sorry.
Don't you think they handled Corona situation in Karnataka better than the rest of the states?
Oh, no. Sorry to say this. In Karnataka, people were suffering. It's only because of the opposition leaders and the NGOs who distributed the ration kits and stuff to the poor people. They survived. In fact, they closed down so many Indira canteens. Without the Indira canteen set up by our Siddaramaiah as the CM, today, during the Corona, it would have been very hard for the current government to manage the people in city who were going hungry. And our Anna Bhagya scheme, where we are giving 7 kg of rice to every person free of cost. That particular through PDS, that particular program is what saved Karnataka. If you're saying the government handled Corona better, it's only because of Anna Bhagya program that Congress had introduced.
So how does the Congress? So how does
what
Congress...
I said that they didn't handle well was the vaccine distribution, the bed distribution, the huge corruption scandal the BJP had in those areas of ordering beds, and thousands of crores were looted in the name of Corona. Yeah, this happened, and you can see all the news articles and how our leader Siddaramaiah sir has spoken against it during the time. They didn't manage it well at all. No, if we overcame it, it was only because of the Congress party's programs like Anna Bhagya and Indira Canteen came out.
So how does Congress take this game from now on, considering there is a turmoil situation going on in terms of floods? So how does Congress approach the floods and the coming days in political aspect?
Like I feel sad that I am here in Kanyakumari, and I'll be going in the next couple of days. After that, I'm definitely going to go on field. But our MLAs, the Congress MLAs in Bangalore, they are on field helping the people out wherever they're in distress. But sadly, if you see how Karnataka people voted for like BJP MPs, and you see BJP MPs enjoying dosas in their and posting Instagram videos instead of being there with the people. This is happening. I think when people elect you, your loyalty should first be towards your constituency and your voters. But currently, if you see the MP from Bengaluru South, which is one of the, the constituency, the people are one of the victims of this rain. He's more of a BJP Yuva Morcha president than the member of parliament from Bengaluru South constituency. His loyalty is more towards his party position. I'm not saying it shouldn't be.
Isn't that obvious, ma'am? Isn't that obvious for any person from a political background? Is that not an obvious choice?
Sorry?
Not an obvious choice, ma'am. Is anyone who's coming from any party is going to be very loyal or very affiliated with their party? That's not a thing of question, right?
But oh yeah. I'm not questioning his loyalty towards his party. I'm expecting the same loyalty towards his constituency. People who voted him, and if he is in some position today, it's because of them. The same amount of loyalty and hard work is expected towards his constituency people as well. But that is lacking. That is totally lacking from his side. And people are saying that, and it's not just him. Other MPs and MLAs of BJP as well. They're just denying, they're just blame gaming the Congress. You see, Bommai sir, the CM of Karnataka, he's blaming the Congress, the previous. How can you blame another party for your, inefficiency in administration? He's proved to be a failure in handling communal riots. He's proved to be a failure in handling disasters like this. Like, they have become a campaign management party than, actually policy making and working for the people. They don't do that. That's clear from even the policy implementation is utter failure. You take it from center to the state, everywhere. In fact, when Narendra Modi last time during his election campaign, he said double engine sarkar and it will be good for the Karnataka people. That means, both at center and state, if they elect BJP, it will be good for people. But people are suffering today after electing BJP because of the price hike, because of the polarization that is happening in the name of religion, and because of the unemployment. Bengaluru youth, the Karnataka youth are in distress. And I am not sure if you've heard of it. Recently, I was under my leadership, a huge protest was undertaken, where the government recruitment from these from the constitutional body, Karnataka Public Service Commission, and KPSC and KSB, the police SI, the police Karnataka State Police Department conducts exam for sub-inspector posts. Lot of scams and lot of corruption has happened in this. Even KA, Karnataka Examination Authority, and the students are in distress, and they're like a lot of financial distress. The students, because there is age limit to all of these exams. They don't conduct exam. They don't give out notification. If they conduct exams, the results will take years together. And even if the results come out, that later they realize that there was a huge corruption scandal behind it, and it goes to the court. And there are around 10 lakh to 12 lakh students in across Karnataka writing these exams. They are in distress. And since BJP took over, there is not one proper notification that has happened, and they have not completed one notification and released the results. The unemployment, price rise, and the polarization. These three are the main issues that has taken over the state, and a lot of people are in distress because of BJP government.
The message from Ms. Bhavya is very loud and clear. On a concluding note, I would like to ask you, like, if you have any words to your state people out there, would you like to say anything to your state people out there who are suffering in the rains? Do you have anything to say to them, ma'am?
ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಜನತೆಗೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳೋದಿಷ್ಟೇ, ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಏನು ಲಿಟ್ರಲಿ ಮುಳುಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಲುಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನೀರು, ಜನರ ಜೀವನನೇ ಅಸ್ತವ್ಯಸ್ತ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ನೀವ್ ಹೇಗೆ ವೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದೆ ಆದ್ರೂ ಸರಿಯಾದ ಒಂದು ಅಭ್ಯರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ವೋಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ವೋಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅಂತ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನ ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ವೋಟ್ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮುಂಚೆ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ನೋಡಿ, ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪರವಾಗಿ ನಿಂತಿತ್ತು ಇಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ, ಯಾವ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಮುಂದೆನೂ ನಿಲ್ಲುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಭರವಸೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ವೋಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಈ ವರ್ಷ ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ತಿರುವಂತಹ ತೊಂದರೆ ಪ್ರತಿ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲೂ, ಉದ್ಯೋಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ನಿರುದ್ಯೋಗ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಯುವಕ ಯುವತಿಯರಿಗೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ರೈಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಮಿಡಲ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಜನ ಏನು ಈ ಒಂದು ಬೆಲೆ ಏರಿಕೆಯಿಂದ ಸಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಬರೀ ಪೆಟ್ರೋಲು ಡೀಸೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಒಂದೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಊಟದ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಸಾಮಾನ್ ಕೂಡ, ಸಾಮಗ್ರಿಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಇವತ್ತು ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೆಲೆ ಏರಿದೆ. ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ. ವೋಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ. ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ನೀವು ಮೊದ್ಲು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಯುವ ಜನತೆ ಯಾವ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ. ನಿರುದ್ಯೋಗ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡವ್ರು, ನಿರುದ್ಯೋಗ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅವರ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಹೋಗೋದು, ಈ ಕೋಮುವಾದದ ಕಡೆ. ಮೊನ್ನೆ ತರ 2 ಹಿಂದೂ ಯುವಕರು, 2 ಮುಸ್ಲಿಂ ಯುವಕರ ಹತ್ಯೆಯಾಗಿದೆ. ಲಾಸ್ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರ ಕುಟುಂಬದವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೊರತು ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರ ಕುಟುಂಬದಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಯುವಕರೇ ಆಗ್ಲಿ, ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕನ್ಸುಗಳನ್ನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನುಚ್ಚುನೂರಾಗಿದೆ. ಅವ್ರ ಕುಟುಂಬ ಒಂದು ಅವ್ರ ಕುಟುಂಬ ಅವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇಟ್ಟಂತಹ ಕನಸುಗಳು ನುಚ್ಚು ನೂರಾಗಿದೆ. ಅವ್ರ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ, ಅವ್ರ ಅಕ್ಕ ತಂಗಿ, ಅಣ್ಣ ತಮ್ಮಂದಿರು ಅವರನ್ನ ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಷ್ಟು ನೋವು ಪಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದು ಮುಖ್ಯ. ಯಾವ ಧರ್ಮ ಆದ್ರೇನಂತೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನೋಪಾಯ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಫಸ್ಟ್. ಅದಿದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಧರ್ಮ ನಮ್ ಜೊತೆ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರ ಕಡೆ ಗಮನ ಕೊಡಿ. ಈ 3 ವಿಷಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ನಿಮ್ ಜೊತೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಏಳಿಗೆಗಾಗಿ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ವೋಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for sparing your time. Hope Karnataka and Bengaluru bounce back as early as possible. Thank you for joining with us. This is
It has always
signing off from
no
you
matter what.
for One India.
Yeah.